Academy's class of 2017 will now chant the school Oli, led by senior Alex Cavella. This time, I'd like to invite Senior Katie Gordon to lead us in the Star Spangled Banner, followed by Hawaii Pono'i. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce some of our distinguished guests joining us today. Please help welcome Senator Mike Gabbard and also Kimberly Marcos Pine, Councilwoman Kimberly Marcos Pine. Thank you both for the service to the people of Hawaii and for being outstanding role models to our Keiki. Also joining us today are members of Island Pacific Academy's Board of Trustees. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Trustees, please stand and be recognized as I introduce you. Board President Denise Becker, Board Vice President Danton Wong and his wife Helen Wong, Board Secretary, Founding Headmaster Dr. Dan White and his wife Judy, Board Treasurer Larry Castor, Board Member Billy Hoffmeyer, Board Member Pat Liu, Board Member Mark Button and his wife Diane Button. Thank you for all of your support and commitment to Island Pacific Academy. Our goal at Island Pacific Academy is to be a premier independent school in the nation, graduating young men and women who are confident and ready to maximize the use of their intellectual, academic, physical, artistic, and creative gifts in college and as lifelong learners. Leading this kind of charge requires a servant leader who is passionate about education and helping others reach their highest potential. It also requires someone who is wholeheartedly committed to the vision for the future of Island Pacific Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our head of school, Mr. Gerald Taramai.
Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, Board President Denise Becker, Board of Trustees of Island Pacific Academy, members of the faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2017, our 8th graduating class from Island Pacific Academy. Congratulations on your achievements. We are so proud of each and every one of you. Seniors, I truly enjoyed our senior interviews this year. Thank you very much for your helpful and candid responses and your time here at Island Pacific Academy. It was wonderful to hear about your dreams and aspirations for your promising future. I'm thrilled for each of you, and you have a bright future. As I thought about today's message, I felt it imperative that my message would have to be befitting the goals and ambitions of the class of 2017. Immediately, the thought of mental strength came to mind, an aspect critical to the great success throughout one's journey in life. Mental strength is that unique combination of passion, tenacity, perseverance that enables you to stick with your goals until they become reality. So please allow me to share with you my 10 life lessons on developing mental strength. The first lesson in developing mental strength is to fight mentally when you already feel defeated. You have two choices when things begin to get tough. You can either overcome an obstacle and grow in the process, or you can let it beat you. Humans are creatures of habit. Therefore, if you quit when things get tough, it gets much easier to quit the next time. On the other hand, if you focus yourself to push through the challenges, the strength begins to grow within you. So never quit. Lesson 2 in developing mental strength: delayed gratification. There was this famous Stanford experiment in which an administrator left a child in a room with a marshmallow for 15 minutes. Before leaving, the experimenter told the child she was welcome to eat the marshmallow, but if she waited until he returned without eating it, she would get a second marshmallow. The children who were able to wait until the experimenter returned experienced better outcomes in life, including higher SAT scores and greater career success. The point is that delayed gratification and patience are essential to success. People with mental strength know that results materialize when you put in the time and delayed gratification. So don't eat the marshmallows. The third lesson in developing your mental strength is make mistakes, look a bit foolish, and try again without even flinching. In a recent study at the College of William and Mary, researchers interviewed over 800 entrepreneurs and found that the most successful among them tend to have two critical things in common. They are terrible at imagining failure, and they tended not to care what other people think of them. In other words, the most successful entrepreneurs put no time or energy into stressing about their failures, as they see failure as a small and necessary step in the process of reaching their goals. So make lots of mistakes. The fourth lesson in developing your mental strength is keep your emotions in check. Negative emotions challenge your mental strength every step of the way. While it's impossible not to feel emotions, it's completely under your control or power to manage them effectively and to keep yourself in control of them. When you let your emotions take over your ability to think clearly, it's easy to lose your resolve. And an impetuous mood can make you lash out or stray from your chosen directions. So no drama. The fifth lesson in developing your mental strength is make the calls you're afraid to make. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do because we know it's the best thing to do in the long run. It's easy to let the looming challenges paralyze you, but the most successful people know that these moments, the best things they can do is to get started right away. Every moment spent dreading the task takes time and energy from actually getting it done. People who habitually make the tough calls stand out like flamingos in a group of seagulls. So be brave and be courageous. Lesson 6 in developing your mental strength. Trust your intuition. There's a fine line between trust your gut and being impulsive. Trusting your gut is a matter of looking at decisions from every possible angle, and when the facts don't present a clear alternative, you believe in your ability to make the right decision. You go with what looks and feels right. So trust your gut feelings. Lesson 7 in developing your mental strength is to lead when no one else wants to follow. It's easy to set direction and to believe in yourself when you have support, but the true test of strength is how well you maintain your resolve when nobody else believes in what you're doing. People with mental strength believe in themselves no matter what, and they stay the course until they win people over to their way of thinking. So believe and trust in yourself. The 8th lesson in developing mental strength. Focus on the details even when it makes your brain numb. Nothing tests your mental strength like mind-numbing details, especially when you're tired. The more people with mental strength are challenged, the more they dig in and welcome that challenge. So focus on the details even when it hurts your brain. Lesson 9 in developing mental strength: be kind to people who are possibly rude to you at times. When people treat you poorly, it's tempting to stoop to their level and return the favor. People with mental strength don't allow others to walk all over them, but that doesn't mean they're rude to them either. Instead, they treat the rude and crude people with the same kindness that they extend to everyone else, because they don't allow a person's negativity to bring them down. So always take the higher road and be the better person. And lastly, the 10th lesson to develop mental strength: be accountable for your actions no matter what. People are far more likely to remember how you dealt with a problem than how they are to recall how you created it in the first place. By holding yourself accountable, even when making excuses is an option, you show that you care about the results more than your image or ego. So own up to your actions and your decisions. So if you bring it all together, to increase your mental strength, you simply need to change your outlook. When hard times hit, people with mental strength suffer just as much as everyone else does. The difference is that they understand life-challenging moments offer valuable lessons. In the end, these tough lessons that build the strength in you will build the strength in you to help you be very successful. Mental strength is as rare as it is important. The good news is that any of us can get stronger with a little extra focus and effort. Congratulations, class of 2017. Go forward with confidence. We're very, very proud of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. High school students are faced with challenging decisions every day. What classes to take, how hard to work in those classes, which friends to have, and ultimately, what path they want to take in their lives. It takes courage and wisdom to strive for and achieve the path that leads to the honorable title of Salutatorian. By virtue of dedication and tireless hard work, Bradley Sweet has earned the honor of being the 2017 Island Pacific Academy Salutatorian. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bradley Sweet.
Family and friends, faculty, Board of Trustees, and fellow graduates. I'd like to welcome you to Island Pacific Academy's commencement ceremony of the class of 2017. This has been an event in the making for the past 18 years of our lives. We are the last high school graduating class born in the 20th century, the last of our kind. From birth to now, we have been taught first and foremost that our education is paramount. We were taught that through education, we can better understand the world we live in. We were taught that we can reach our highest aspirations. And most importantly, we were taught that we can change the world. From our first days of kindergarten to now, our last days as seniors, we have etched this philosophy into the back of our minds, using it as a reminder of why we continue to grapple with the harrowing, loathsome, dreaded two-letter beast that is IB. But alas, we've done it. We finally made it. And it is at this moment that I am reminded of a famous Latin saying that, I feel, embodies the journey we have taken as a class to get to this point. That saying is this: Veni, Vidi, Vici, which translates to I came, I saw, I conquered. Veni, I came. I first came to IPA as a freshman, 4 short years ago. I clearly remember the anxiety coursing through my veins in these very first days at IPA. I remember feeling extremely reserved, but my fellow graduates were open and willing to accept me as a new student. I made so many great memories from my first few months at IPA. I distinctly remember the passions that started to grow in all of us, epitomized by things like the Life Club, gaming channels on YouTube, and a blog on new technology called Digital Tech Thoughts. However, as time went on, schoolwork forced us to find a balance between our responsibilities and our hobbies. More time passed, and eventually we found ourselves more and more consumed by our schoolwork. Vidi, I saw. I've seen the hardship that this class has had to endure since my freshman year, no thanks to Ivy. But it is with this hardship that we've been able to profoundly develop ourselves as individuals. My fellow graduates, you are the most diligent, resilient people I've ever met, each of you having your own unique strengths. For some, it is eloquence, the ability to craft a perfect harmonic blend of diction, syntax, and structure, folding in some of their own identity to create a stately, unique piece of literature. These are the true artisans of our class. For others, it is reasoning, both quantitative and qualitative, the ability to seek the truth using both sides of the brain. Through evaluating the tangibles and intangibles of the world, this next generation of mathematicians and philosophers will ask questions and reach conclusions that require a true thirst for knowledge. For many, it is art, the ability to translate the outer world into brushstrokes, choreography, acting, and music, intuitively converting their perceptions of the world we live in into their own preferred mediums, ultimately communicating one thing: the essence of pure, raw emotion. For the select few, it is everything. The ability to embody all of these qualities and excel at them with ease, transcending the normal boundaries of what defines a strength. These extraordinary students are the Renaissance men and women of our class. The wide variety of strengths go on, and this variety is what gives our whole class intellectual and social diversity. This diversity has helped to nurture a symbiotic environment based on a socio-intellectual foundation, supported by our amazing underclassmen peers, our incredible teachers and faculty, and our loving families. Vici, I conquered. More accurately, we conquered. We have achieved so much as a class. With the support system we have in place, we have been able to vastly expand our horizons as individuals and as a class, ultimately becoming a class obstinately bent on reaching our goals. From freshman year to now, we have always strived to meet the lofty standards we set for ourselves. We set out to be one of the most successful classes to have ever run the snapshot, and we managed to do just that, having been on the cusp of grossing 5 digits from our sales, leaving the class of 2017 as the most profitable class to ever run the snapshot. We set out to create one of the most memorable and elaborate Spirit Week dances that IPA has ever seen, and we did just that, with the result including fog machines, confetti cannons, a laser light system, and even a pulley system that we used to hoist and suspend one of our dancers from the ceiling of the NPR. We even set out to help IPA donate a record amount of food to the Hawaii Food Bank. Last year, with the direction of our Student Government Executive Council that was comprised of some of my classmates, we donated over 10,000 pounds of food, a feat that IPA hadn't yet accomplished. We reached these goals and many others with the support of our friends, family, and Island Pacific Academy. We can all agree that this institution and the people affiliated with it have supported us to the fullest extent. And as a result, we have been able to better ourselves as dreamers, as students, and as people. Our support system is truly astounding, and those of us who have had this privilege since kindergarten are extremely lucky. It is with this support that we have been able to reach our goals and overcome adversity for the past 18 years, the past 216 months, the past 939 weeks, the past 6,570 days, the past 157,680 hours, the past 9,460,800 minutes. From macro to micro, regardless of which lens you prefer, our visions and accomplishments as a class will never be out of focus. Something that would never be possible without the unwavering support of our fellow peers, our faculty, and our families. So, to our friends and family, we would like to say thank you for all the love and support you've given us. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations. We came, we saw, and we conquered.
Thank you, Brad. Brad has gained confidence and built a strong foundation, which will surely be helpful in achieving his next set of goals as he leaves high school and attends the University of Michigan, majoring in engineering. His thirst for knowledge and commitment to learning are the qualities needed for the future leaders of our community, state, and nation. We thank you, Brad. Next, we're in for a special treat. Megan Bobolin, Shayna Duran, and Caitlin Komatsu, members of the class of 2017, share a very special hula presentation of Pale Hua. Megan, Shayna, and Caitlin. Beautifully done. And a special mahalo to Kumu Makana Kuahivi Nui for helping the girls with their hula choreography. Our next guest is Maui-born Lee Cataluna. Lee is the award-winning playwright of many of Hawaii's best-loved and most produced plays. She is the author of 2 books of fiction, Folks You Meet in Longs, and 3 Years on Doreen's Sofa, and the children's book, Ordinary Ohana. Her latest play, Uncle's regularly scheduled garage party, that must be a fun one, is canceled tonight so that she could be here to join us for this momentous occasion for the class of 2017, and we thank you for that. However, it will open next weekend at the Kumu Kahua Theater and will run through July, so if you want to see it, please go see it. For more than a decade, Lee has been a staff columnist for the Honolulu Advertiser and the Honolulu Star Advertiser, Hawaii's largest daily newspaper. She has an MFA in creative writing from the University of California, Riverside, and has taught writing to high school students and also in a maximum security prison. She says it was easier to teach the high school students. No? The other way, okay. Her favorite stories are about ordinary people struggling to live lives of dignity and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker this evening, Miss Lee Cataluna.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here tonight and to speak at your momentous occasion tonight. However, you will not remember this speech. No one ever remembers the invited guest speech at graduation. Ask your parents. Ask your teachers. They remember the highlights of the class valedictorian speech and the salutatorian speech, which was excellent. They remember the moment they turned their tassel and looked up toward heaven. They remember the one kid who face planted while walking up to grab his diploma. Don't worry, it's not gonna happen tonight. They remember what they wore under their gown, and if the shoes they bought special for the occasion hurt like heck the whole time. But unless their guest speaker was Will Ferrell or Oprah Winfrey, and it probably wasn't, or unless the speaker messed up in epic fashion, it just might. Nobody remembers their graduation guest speaker's commencement address, and neither will you, which is kind of sad. All those significant words of wisdom chosen with great precision, the lines of prose practiced over and over for weeks and polished to a high sheen, typed out in large font for nervous old eyes to read on the paper. All those wonderful cliches strung together with care as though, spoken in a row, the sum of all the cliche parts somehow become original. Reach for the stars, shoot for the moon, swing for the fences, run for the roses, go for the gold. Follow your heart, follow your passion, follow your dreams. Dream big, never give up, never ever give up. Believe in yourself. If you believe, you will achieve. Don't stop believing. Who thought of Steve Perry right there? Don't stop till you get enough. Michael Jackson? That's my crowd. Always give your 100%, always give 110%. Give it your all, give it all you've got. The world is your canvas. The world is your classroom. The world is your oyster. Wow, good stuff. So this is the challenge I face tonight, how to deliver a speech that you are bound to forget. My task is not to make it memorable. My goal is to make the fact that you will forget what I say work to my advantage. To make what I say hang in the air like a shower of stars from a hotel Friday night fireworks show, and then fade to black over the ocean, gone, forgotten. So I can pretty much say anything and get away with it. Luckily for your nervous parents, I am not a risk taker. But since chances are you're not going to remember this speech anyway, I'm going to take the opportunity to deviate from the expected. So here it goes. There are 3 crucial things you need to know as you head off to college. 1, instant ramen is an acceptable breakfast. 2, when you do laundry, don't wash your towels with the rest of your clothes or else your underwear will come out fuzzy. And 3, failure is inevitable. I'm gonna start with the failure stuff because the other two are kind of self-explanatory. And if I don't, the mention of failure will make school administrators nervous, and they have a big hook in the back with my name on it, stashed in case I go rogue. You must accept this truth about life. You will mess up. No matter how smart you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how careful and clever and responsible you are, you will make mistakes. You will make bad choices sometimes. You will be wrong. It'll happen more than once. I know this for a fact. I know it because you're humans, and humans are amazingly imperfect. We are so full of foibles, it's a wonder we get anything done at all. I also know this because I'm old, and I've seen every person that I've loved and admired make stupid choices sometimes, and it no longer shocks me. It's just how everyone is. The measure of a person isn't the number of times they do or do not mess up. Well, it kind of is. You should minimize that. But the true measure of character is what the person does after the mistake. Which brings me to number 2. I have a lot of numbered lists tonight. I don't know why. 2, you will learn from your mistakes. Not everyone does, of course, but you will. Because you are smart, because you are well educated, which means more than things like you have memorized pi to the 50th digit and can find Liechtenstein on a map. It means you have learned strategy. You have learned resilience and grit. You have learned that there are different ways into the same challenge, and you have learned that giving up is the only guaranteed way that you will never achieve your goal. You will learn from your mistakes. Number 3, it doesn't matter, you will screw up again, but that's okay. It's okay. No matter how widespread the destruction, pick yourself up and continue on your quest. Number 4, just when you think you've figured everything out and will never trip up again, you will trip up again. But it will be an even bigger and better mistake, something you never thought you would ever see coming. I know this for sure because I am a keen observer of human behavior, and because I've been alive a long time, and I make lots of mistakes. I also know this for a fact because I have made some colossal mistakes in my lifetime, over and over, many times, and even quite recently. But I'm not going to tell you about them because 1, it's not the point, and 2, it doesn't matter, and 3, shame. Now, you are sitting there having achieved the greatest achievement of your young life, and you're thinking, me? Mess up? You're right, lady giving the speech that I will never remember. I will remember your speech, but I will remember the part about your reckless accusations, and I'm here to tell you that I'm accomplished, I'm educated, I'm clear-eyed, full of purpose, and I promise I will not mess up. You will mess up. You are human, it's gonna happen. If you never make a mistake, you're playing life way too safe, or you're in serious denial. So when it does inevitably happen, this is what you do when you mess up. Oh good, it's another numbered list. Number 1, don't freak out. Everybody messes up. Everybody. Every authority figure and role model that you can think of has made mistakes. Every successful person, who do you think of as successful? Steph Curry, Michael Phillips, Beyonce, they all had their moments when they went, oh, dang it, seriously? Oh! Or worse. Even Mother Teresa had her moments when she went, aye. Everybody who has achieved greatness messed up along the way. They achieved greatness because they didn't let the mistake or mistakes stop them. They course corrected. They moved forward. 2, how? Own up to it. That is the fastest way to put out the fire, contain the damage, stop the spread, and several other cliches. I have a terrible story of shame and woe that I'm not going to tell you. It involves wearing a pair of sunglasses on top of my head while in the only bathroom of the small little company I was working in right out of college, and those sunglasses falling off my head into the toilet. just as I flushed, and the horror of watching them go down and down into the S-curve, and knowing I had blocked up the one working toilet in the entire building for all my coworkers, and then sneaking out the door and driving to Liberty House, this was back in the day, and buying the exact same pair of glasses, and coming back to work and parking in the parking lot and seeing all the emergency plumbing trucks, and then walking into the office and going, oh, what happened? I made sure I wore those glasses obviously on top of my head for a long time. That story's too long to tell. I'm still embarrassed about it, so I'm not going to tell it. The point of the story is that even though nobody ever found out, and don't anybody tell, I carry that guilt forever and ever. Even now, even right this moment, it threatens to destroy me. If I had owned up to it, I would be able to use that story as a good example for this speech today instead of a bad example of what not to do, and my life would be vastly different. As it is, I live in the shadows. 3, don't make it worse. Covering stuff up makes it worse. Pretending to yourself that it wasn't your fault when it really was makes it worse. Freaking out makes it worse. 4, try to learn from the experience. That means thinking about it with a cool head, figuring out how the damage could have been avoided, and at the very end of it all, being compassionate with yourself. You are awesome. Awesome people make mistakes sometimes. It's okay, you're still awesome. Give your awesome self a hug and get back out there. 5, don't post your mistakes on social media. Allow yourself the grace of being able to tell the story when you want to. On social media, it's out there for everybody and anybody, whether you want them to know or not. And 6, don't let the fear of making mistakes stop you from working toward greatness. However, do let the fear of making mistakes stop you from doing stupid, dangerous, shameful stuff. Just don't let fear of failure keep you from reaching for the stars, shooting for the moon, swinging for the roses, running for the fences, all those beloved cliches. And finally, I leave you with this. Knowing that you will inevitably face failure should not knock your confidence. Go out into the world being confident that you will find a way out, or a way up, or a way through whatever slip up you inflict upon yourself. You're smart people. You come from families who adore you and who want the best for you. Be careful, be watchful, but more than anything, be resilient. And now, please, feel free to begin forgetting that I was ever here. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Cataluna. I think we can all agree that your words were, wait, what did you say again? In actuality, because you told us to forget, I'm pretty sure we will remember your words of encouragement and inspiration. So thank you again. At this time, our graduates would like to share a rendition of their class song. You guys are going to sing. Yay. The class song is Count on Me. Graduates, please rise.
I'll
song. You may be seated. Those lyrics demonstrate strength of character based upon the core values of respect for others, recognition of the inherent value of each human being, generosity of spirit, and the power of human kindness. Thank you, class of 2017. That was really a great song. The student who earns the Island Pacific Academy Navigator Award has been selected for much more than an impressive GPA. The Navigator is someone who is considered to be a role model academically and morally. This year, the year's winner was selected as the graduating class Navigator for steering the way for the other students with his commendable combination of good grades, generous character, and service to others. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome our next speaker, 2017 Island Pacific Academy Navigator Award winner, Senior Mark York.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. There it is. So, we made it. After all of the assignments, essays, and exams, after all of the sleepless nights and drowsy days, after all the times we might have struggled to turn an assignment in on time, begged our teachers for some last-minute help, or felt at least the tiniest, terrifying sensation that for everything we checked off the list, 2 more were added on. We made it. This is our high school graduation. We're face to face with something incredible, a new chapter full of boundless possibilities, and it all starts in these seats, together as the class of 2017. Personally speaking, this used to scare me. When I first came to this school, I feared the uncertainties that come with the future, so I crept away into the shadows, keeping to myself. I felt comfortable in the confines of my own bubble, wanting to hide away into the scribbles in my notebook because I didn't think there was a place for me in the real world. But this community changed that. All of the students who welcomed me, all of the teachers who supported me, they, many of whom are here with us today, showed me all the drills life has to offer, whether I was being helped through adversity, invited to a gathering, or simply given the right laugh at the right time. The mission statement of IPA reads, kindness, generosity of spirit, and the importance of curiosity and creativity. And I have seen these values firsthand in this community, clear as day. Here, I was given the strength to find my way through the uncertainties I once feared, fitting that we're called the Navigators. But now, we stand in front of a misty horizon about to venture forth into uncharted territories. We're all about to go our own separate paths, seeing new places and facing new, unforeseen challenges. Everything we know today can change completely tomorrow, and there are times when we might want to cower under the pressure. It's okay to feel like that once in a while, but if there's anything that I've learned over these years with you all, it's that we have the ability to overcome these anxieties. Through stormy seas and raging storms, we'll make our way. Through sorrows and adversity, we'll find joys and solutions. Through darkness, we'll find light. Through anything the future could possibly have to throw at us, we'll find our way through the uncertainties that loom over us today. Because we are navigators, each and every one of us. We made it this far. These caps and gowns are living proof of that. We are ready for the outside world. I'm thrilled by the very thought of all the things we will be able to do as a class in the future. All of the lives we will touch, all of the things we will create. Each and every one of us is special. And don't let anyone, especially that little voice inside your head, tell you otherwise. Pretty soon, we will all be apart, and honestly speaking, after all these years, I cannot believe I'm saying that. But even if we never see each other again, the times we have shared and the lessons we have learned from one another will last. Because here's the thing about a voyage. No matter how long it takes or where else you go, you'll always have a piece of where you came from, because that, in large part, is what defines who you are in the present and who you are to be in the future. Amidst all of the winding paths you will take, a memory can be more valuable than all of the riches in the world. So today, let's make some more while we can, because this is the day we've all been waiting for. I've learned that there's more to life beyond a notebook, and thank you for all those who showed me that. Thank you for all for making this journey with me. It's been a privilege. Let the tides be in your favor, fellow navigators.
Thanks, Mark. Our class of 2017 graduates will now be presented with their diplomas by Island Pacific Academy Head of School, Gerald Taramai, Ms. Kip Cummings, Secondary Principal, and Ms. Denise Becker, President of the Island Pacific Academy Board of Trustees. Seniors, please rise. Sean Philip Alamar. Jake Tomio Arakawa. Jonah Robert Bobelin. Megan Isayo Bobelin. Kiana Mahelani Carson. McKenna Po'okela Chan. Shayna Lee Sydney Duran. Nicholas Yekichi Garcia. Danielle Marie Garrett. John Richard Gillette. Katie Hikaru Gordon. Sarah Savite Johansus. Bryson Taro Kawakami Tabayos. Alexander Ho'oikaika Keakua Cabello. Maxim Kealoha Knight. Taylor Asano Kodani. Caitlin Kiilani Michiko Komatsu. Kai Wang Lai. Nainoa Terrence Lynch. Tanyan Mackay Lynch. Tressa Marie Manuel McDonald. Justin Hale Ikepono, major. Take your time, Justin. Jade Juhong Min. Sorry, Andrew. Psych. Andrew David Merriman. Devin Justine Munar. Rachel Marie Novak. Megan Marie Rodick. Alanis Mai Maxine Sakuma. Kalena Kunani Sachiko Spot Cap. Kento Sugama. Bradley Joseph Sweet. Alex Miwa Takeuchi. Jake Alexander Keikoa Yeager. Mark Dwayne York Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome President of Island Pacific Academy's class of 2017, Rachel Novak, to lead her classmates in the traditional turning of the tassels.
Fellow classmates of the Island Pacific Academy class of 2017, using your left hand, get ready to turn your tassel from right to left, signifying your graduation. On the count of 3, we'll turn our tassels. 1, 2, 3. Our tassels are now over our hearts, where our memories of Island Pacific Academy will always reside. Thank you.
Sit down. Okay. Seniors, you may be seated. I just realized they're all looking at me. It takes courage and wisdom to strive for and achieve a path that leads to honorable title of the Valedictorian. This year's Valedictorian's intellect has added so much tangible value to the classroom. Yet, more importantly, the intangibles, his sincere approach to learning, his very clever wit, and an overly quirkiness, and we all agree, right? Make him truly unique, a very unique student, and member of this class. He has a knack for combining and applying his interests with the academic concepts he is learning in class. His academic accomplishments complement the impact of his leadership abilities. His focus and perseverance have paid off with his impressive GPA, but more importantly, he has gained beneficial personal and intellectual skills that others are trying to master. He has impacted every facet of our school. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Island Pacific Academy class of 2017 valedictorian, Mr. Jonah Bobolin.
I guess I'm supposed to say something now. Parents, families, friends, teachers, and counselor. I would like to thank you for your support and guidance over these past 4 years. It is because of you that we are here to sit today, on stage, nervous, dealing with these, and graduating, rather than at home binging on 7-layer bean dip and Netflix originals. But as an abrupt interlude to preface the main attraction, in which I shall provide you with life advice that I am almost certainly not qualified to give, I would like to share with you the only quote that is to appear in this speech. A few words by David Aurora, the author of Mushrooms Demystified. Who remarks that collecting mushrooms is not simply a matter of traipsing through the woods after it rains. It is an art, a skill, a meditation, and a process. If you proceed at a careful, deliberate rate, you'll enjoy much more success than if you rush around frantically, picking whatever mushrooms you see, then stuff in your basket, bring the whole mess home, and dump it on your table. Mushrooms collected in this manner are likely to wind up in the garbage, unidentified and unappreciated. Take that passage as you wish. An endorsement of a methodical work process, a mushroomy sort of stop and smell the roses, a metaphor for applying to college, or perhaps just a dude who's a little extra about mushrooms. I will not force an interpretation upon you. The people here have fostered a community in which students are free to have their own perspectives, to express themselves,
to indulge in their idiosyncrasies and eccentricities, and to thrive in their individuality. High school is an experience. No doubt you have had high school teachers whom you have loved, who have made you ready for college. No doubt you've had high school teachers who have simply made you ready for college. From this point forward, freed from the shackles of mandatory education, the extent to which you choose further education is entirely up to you. Whether you will go to classes or not, study or not, drop out of college or not. Will you graduate in 4 years? Go to graduate school? Who knows? You may end up imprisoned in Luhana after tearing at the fibers with reckless abandon and downing 3 quarts of grape juice in the McDonald's drive-thru on a Wednesday night. Or perhaps you will become accomplished, return years from now as a millionaire, and finally buy our school a gym. What I'm trying to get at is this. None of high school matters anymore, at least insofar as it shall not dictate the outcome of your future. Yes, it has educated you, shaped you, and molded you into the person here today, terrified and exhilarated to face the world. It is thanks to your mentors, whom you must remember to continue to thank, that you have the tools to continue forward. Yet, all this hinges upon the decisions you make, because commencement marks a transition, a transfer of ownership of your life to you. Your parents and teachers have passed the torch along. Your roles have shifted. Now you are the leader. Hold the flame high, waste no time in embracing the unexplored. Be revolutionary. After today, we will all part ways, each of us forging ahead and setting our own path alike. And as you do, I encourage you to act with decorum. In the current political landscape, it seems common courtesy is too frequently a practice of the past. Do not fall prey to outshouting your adversaries. You are educated. Persuade them civilly or disagree respectfully. This does not mean unique in the face of injustice. Now more than ever is the time to advocate for minorities who are unable to do so themselves, to march in solidarity with those who can, and to resist against the prejudice who believe their own opinions to be facts, those facts to be laws, and those laws a license to discriminate. Stand up for equality, for women, for all races, for all religions, for all sexualities and gender, for the impoverished, and for all the other groups who may be legally victimized in the coming years. Wield your privilege as a weapon, always aware of it, and determined to use it to do right by others, so that they too may enjoy what you take for granted. This is the stewardship you have been charged with, to make a more just society. Lead the charge. But, while pushing forward, take time to breathe, to cook, to take a long bath once in a while, to hike the Adirondacks, to dance manically at 2 a.m. in your empty dorm room, to cry, to smile, to scream, to run through sprinklers and walk through rain, depending on where you end up, to lie in the grass or sand or snow, to fall in and out of love. You are all wonderful, talented, beautiful, and intelligent people. Never forget this. Know that acne is normal, so wear stretch marks and love handles. Your chin's fine. Your butt is also fine. Not everyone has abs. Yes, Nicholas does, but some of us like to binge on 7-layer bean dip and watch Netflix originals. Work actively to love yourself and care less about what others think of you. Not all of your life will be amazing. Some days it may feel like your life is burning to ashes in front of you, and no matter how much you try, it will never be enough to extinguish the fire. Terrible things happen. People get hurt. People die. People get depressed and suicidal. So do not proceed in solitude. It is okay to ask for help. Admit you're struggling or that you do not know something. Allow your friends to help. Try to avoid locking yourself away too much. Keep the gate open. And when I say keep the gate open, that's not a metaphor. That's a suggestion for the school. Keep the gate open. Keep it open. As of now, it's all you. You are no longer your parents' responsibility. something which I am sure they have been both desperately awaiting and dreading for the past 18 years. Go. Love yourself. Stand up against injustice. Take up the torch. Heat up your 7-layer beacon. And also remember, despite Mr. Aurora's directions, on occasion it is perfectly fine to simply traipse in the woods after it rains.
Thank you, Jonah. Jonah's focus and perseverance have paid off with his impressive GPA, but more importantly, he has gained beneficial personal and intellectual skills that others, like I said before, are trying to master. He has gained confidence and built a strong foundation, which will surely be helpful in achieving his next set of goals as he leaves high school and attends the University of Hawaii at Manoa as a Regent Scholar. We wish you the very, very best, Jonah. You're going to be missed on campus. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise so that our alumni class of 2017 may lead us in the Island Pacific Academy alma mater, followed by Hawaii Aloha. After Hawaii Aloha, you may be seated. And allow the school administration, faculty, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Please be seated and allow the school administration, faculty, and board of trustees, and the newly graduated seniors to process out of the ballroom. Then we invite you to meet your graduates in the late reading area on the field to the right of this ballroom. They will be at the alphabet letter of their last name. Please remember to use receptacles for all of your trash. It has certainly been my pleasure, and probably memorable for my blunders, to serve you as the Master of Ceremonies today. Congratulations to you, Island Pacific Academy's class of 2017! Yay!